walk and talk video. Been a little while. I thought I would talk some more about this value problem. And objective, universal, and whatever the other were, subjective, I guess. Values. And alright, so Great Text just keeps banging away at this argument that somehow all opinions are equal. And that's what it basically comes down to. That you can't have a qualified opinion on the subject of value especially. So some opinions maybe, but anything about value equations, anything about defining value, there's no such thing as a qualified opinion. And that just seems nonsensical on its face. It's like anything else. You're ascertaining it from the evidence that exists. I don't see any point in saying all theories regarding value, the most important theories, right? There's no other theories that are more important than value theories, are the ones that we're not allowed to judge the quality of them, and to apply things like a level of confidence. And especially not a level of confidence that can ever overwhelm somebody else's right to a different opinion. And that's nonsense. And so we're back to like the social contract kind of questions, like you can't make any judgments about somebody else's behavior. And the troublesome part of that is that's fine as long as their behavior is limited to them. But obviously all our behaviors impact others. So we're back to the problem again of this creation of an individual. And I don't see any way you can separate that from as a value question. All right, creating people is an imposition. It is an act of aggression on somebody else's territory of rights. It's an infringement, a trespass, whatever you want to call it. It's an incursion. Maybe it's good intended. Maybe it's even good resulted. Who the hell knows? The point is, it is a violation of the territorial lines. And we have to make judgments about what's appropriate or inappropriate, because we're measuring two separate interests, the interest of the child versus the interest of the parent. And there's just no way of getting around it, just like we have to measure the interest of women and the interest of rapists. Okay? Women win, rapists lose. All right, so as a rational equation, and I think appropriately, most people can raise their hand and say, yeah, I get that one. And all we're saying is that, hopefully most people raise their hand and say they get it. That would be good. But now we're back to the question of when can we say, who cares what most people think? I mean, obviously that happens in life. Technically, by population, I don't know, most people might have supported slavery. I'm not quite sure. Bottom line was we had to have a war over it because, there was no compromise. And some of this stuff you just can't compromise with. I can't prevent my future existence, the existence of something just like me, very similar to me, something that falls in a 1 in 1,000 category, or 1 in 500 category, let's say, by any act of volition on my part. No, I can only prevent it by preventing somebody else from causing it, because they're the one causing it. And that's just the truth of the circumstance. They're the one imposing. Okay, I didn't get here through my trespass. I got here through somebody else's trespass. Somebody else's willingness to push that line and say, I'm going to make a decision for somebody else. Well, they made the wrong decision. Okay? They created the wrong person at the wrong time in the wrong circumstances. And he raised his hand and said, no, it was wrong. It was stupid. It was dumb. No, thank you. Press the undo button. Oh, there isn't one. So what the hell were you thinking? I mean, you did something that you can't undo. Go practice life somewhere else, on something else. What are you messing around with this thing for? You don't know what you're doing. All those critiques could be thrown in. But anyway, that's a separate issue. The actual decision to procreate and what it represents in terms of a psychology, and I'm going to argue it represents nothing good. It's made out of no good intention. All the intentions are, in fact, evil, and selfish and crap. But anyway, so yeah, how do we measure this authority that we have? How do we judge when we have the authority? Because there's certainly things where I would say, I'm 50-50 on that. Somebody could come up with some economic strategy and say, well, let's just, poison all the rich people. And I could say, well, that's too obviously a good idea. I mean, even if it didn't fix the economy, if it's just a good idea. Fuck the bastards. Anyway, but you could have an argument with somebody and you say, yeah, well, you got some good points, I got some good points, I'm not really confident I'm right, I'm not really confident you're wrong, so, yeah, let's find some flip of the coin or some other way to figure this out. I'm not confident enough to override your opinion. And then there's other times when, if somebody's standing in my way, give me an argument about stopping somebody from raping my sister, fuck you. All right, get the fuck out of my way. All right, I'm not going to even listen to your goddamn opinion. You're wrong. Okay, you're just fucking wrong. And so, yeah, so it's just, forget it. And so I would argue that certainly I'm in that position now, is that I don't really recognize the quality of the alternative opinion is so fucking poor. I mean, it's something like God says so, or the DNA says so. Well, fuck you, you're too stupid. Look, dumb animals wouldn't come up with answers this dumb. You give an animal a little bit of intelligence, do better than this. I could get 5-year-olds and give them a model of these equations. Don't say it overtly, but say it in some other way and pose the question, and they could get it right. They could probably figure out that the Teletubbies on TV aren't real Teletubbies. And these fuckers are these humans that I'm supposed to respect their equal quality of their opinion. Well, forget it, okay? Fuckhead it. Their opinion is shit, and they've demonstrated to be shit. And so yeah, I would be perfectly comfortable, taking the reins of the stagecoach out of their fucking hands, because I couldn't possibly drive it worse than these morons. It's not possible. They're idiots. They're driving it to God's house. That's not going to work, because there is no fucking God's house. So then you take authority from them and you give it to yourself. That's the only choice, because you can't rationally see any equality in the character of the opinions. And it's just a fact, Raytex, and you do it too. So don't say you don't do it. Don't say there aren't issues where the human race is glaringly wrong, and if you could fix it, you'd fix it. So you people are just such liars about this subjective crap. You're only using it when you're in the minority, when you're going to lose the argument. That's when you use that crap. Or when you're in the majority, and you're trying to hold on to some sacred crap that you're feeding off of. It's like the liberals do in defending a bunch of evil institutions, thievery, even something like the child subsidy. Liberals who are supposed to be for, mind your own business, don't force me to pay for your yachts and all this shit, and yet you want me to pay for your decision to have a kid. What the fuck is that, you stupid asshole? Oh, that's right, it's only because you have enough of you and you'll do it. And look at the exploitation by the liberals of the cigarette smokers. So, a group they should be affiliated with, and yet they, because they're generally not rich people, and exploit the motherfucking hell out of them with this insane rationalization. We're saving the children. No, you're not. You're impoverishing the poor. That's all you're doing. You find a way so you don't have to pay the taxes. You'll pull it out of somebody else's pocket. That's all you're doing. And you're usually a fat tub of shit, which makes you a gigantic hypocrite. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. So why should I respect things like gross ignorance, of religion, gross hypocrisy of the politics of people? I mean, just grotesque ignorance and fucking goddamn hypocrisy. And somehow I should consider my opinion equal to these hypocrites and these morons? Well, fuck that. Demonstrate that you have some reasonable argument to make about how the efficiencies of life are built into the system of life. Demonstrate it with an argument, with something that undoes the crude truth of replication for the sake of replication and gladiator wars for 4 billion years, to build something that will not be durable, nor will it be designed to be happy. It'll be designed to be uncomfortable and in pursuit at all times. Animals are built to animal. They're not built to sit on the couch and be comfortable. So anyway, I won't make that whole argument. So I wanted to take this back to the red button. I'm running out of time. So maybe I should run a little. If we turn the red button into just the sterilization button. Now that would be the convenient way out. I mean, it certainly is a thought experiment. It's more sci-fi, unrealistic. But who knows? Maybe there is a way to disable only reproductive cells. So yeah, you had a button, it just sterilized everything. How much better is that than just instantly killing everything? I mean, I think most people would say, well, yeah, it's pretty kick-ass because, yeah, we get to live out our lives, and, yeah, we won't be able to replicate, but that's okay. It's only a minority of people. It's going to be a horror, too, an absolute horror, because they can certainly find something else to do with their time. It's not exactly cutting their legs off. So yeah, it's only a minority of people who are going to be totally disabled because they won't be able to clean diapers. I mean, they still could. You just buy one of those things at the store that, you mix poop in a bowl and you pour it into the doll and the doll will actually poop for you. I mean, they do sell shit like that for you crazy lunatics. So anyway, you make a synthetic one and get over yourselves. But I just wonder where it would fit in people's brains if that was the button we were talking about. And I guess you could go even further and say, what if the button changed everybody just enough, okay, just to the minimum amount of change required to make them see the intelligence, the wisdom of sterilization, of not having kids. So what if it just made people understand that having kids was stupid? And that was the only change it made. So everybody voluntarily didn't have kids. So that's the button I'm going to press. How offensive is that relative to the other buttons? Curious. How you doing? So, so those are a couple more thought experiments to play with. But there's no real point in having any thought experiment if we're premised on a different universe, different understanding of what we are. And nobody, it seems, on the other side has any interest in dealing with the mechanical facts of our existence. It's abiogenesis, replication for the sake of replication, cells, building them, cells, what's the word for it? Associating with each other. Like, again, we're not even living things. We're made of living things. I mean, people don't even get the context, the real context of our existence. And so until they're going to at least be able to incorporate into their narratives of our reality some acceptance of the basic truth of our creation, yeah, what's the point of arguing with these people? Yeah, no point at all. I'll try to argue to their sorry, poor, pitiful kids who have probably already been indoctrinated by the time they're 7 into thinking backwardly. Assume you're a god, prove it later. But anyway, enough of a video, I think. Yeah, only a short run. Good for me. And such. So forth and whatnot. Wow, it almost seems dark in here. Yeah, it's really a nice day. But man, these trees have really beefed up. Like some sort of tunnel of affection. Yeah, it is a little romantic. I will use my imagination. Yes. Yes, I'm fine. Yes, it's a nice day. How are you? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, yeah, okay. I'm trying to play along. Anyway, yeah, so just as an add-on, it's this whole authoritative disambiguation. Yeah, Professor Anton's words as quoted by Greatex, which really translates to an authoritative clarification. Right? To disambiguate is to clarify. They'll call it deconstruction, but there's lots of words you could use. But it really is just about cleaning it up, describing it for what it is, not pretending, not aggrandizing or glorifying or all the fake stuff. Just get to the core of it. What's it do? And then we get back to this whole desire argument. So you got this desire versus the suffering. So let's say the suffering is everybody gets their, well, they don't though. They really don't get their fair share of it. They don't get their fair share of the discomfort even. I mean, it's a given. Most people slide through life a lot easier than I do. Have all these, anxiety issues, brain issues, personality problems. So my life has never been comfortable. I mean, I'm always uncomfortable, most of the time. But yeah, I still have the passion thing, so I mean, I'm still driven by the desire elements of life. It's just that the mediocre's a little, it's not even that the mediocre, it's just that they're, the in-between stuff, the stuff between desire and suffering, just ain't so good, because I'm angsty, more than the average. It's part of the reason why I'm really not a boreable person. I mean, you really can't, it's hard to bore me to death. But anyway, it's a whole different side issue. I want this to be more specific, pointed, and I didn't want it to be personal either. So what's the point I want to make? This difference in experience really comes down to interpretations of desire. Because I can think back to times in my life when I'm caught up in something. When I was addicted to the game, I played it hard. I mean, it's you're hungry for it. You're hungry, you want it. You got to have it, and you're going to chase it. And you really didn't want to get. I really didn't want people getting in my way of that mechanism, because I was full of it. And so it's a powerful mover. It's a powerful perception owner. But we can understand that. That's the whole point. We can understand what it is. That we're just being gamed by it. That it is all crap. And you can see that when you analyze it. When you pick it apart. When you do this little bit of dissection. This little bit of clarifying. When you take when you apply a little bit of scrutiny to it. When you kick it a little bit and see what it does, you can see that it's kind of made out of plastic. That our ego wants for weird fucking shit. We might even say we love somebody, but do we really love them, or do we love their admiration? Do we want their admiration? It's like even, it weaves into all kinds of different things, but, what exactly are we after? Because it's not just some sort of simple, I just want to grab the thing, press the right button, I have the little happy moment, bingo. There is something more to the chase, and it's much more complicated than that, relationships and even our gratifications. It's made out of this whole competition thing's a big part of it. If you're a competitive person, you'll want to get in the game because you want to win. You want to prove yourself. And sometimes it's just about knocking down everybody else. It's almost that float old boats argument by sinking a few. You're going to float your boat by sinking their boat. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, so you can sort of pick through that and see, and just if you just look at what we do as a people, you can see it's just so trivial, so plastic, so cheap, and so little of it is has real character. When you take that little bit of character, that little bit of stuff that might be worth something, that little bit of true beauty, and you put it next to that big, giant pile of horror, pain, and suffering that has been paid for it, there's just no way to do that math and come up with good idea. It just isn't. And if you do the math, if you have the guts to really look at it, that'll even knock that desire down a peg. You'll even pull a few more beauty sticks off the beauty stick pile. I said it the other day, once you start weeding, everything's going to look like a weed. You're never going to find anything that doesn't have weed in it somewhere. It's either got weed seeds, or it's got weed roots, or it's weed stalk right now. But yeah, it's either made out of weed, or it's gonna be weed, but it's weed. Yeah, that's probably a good way to end. Yeah, that's a good metaphor. I like it. I'm perfectly satisfied with that as an ending. Yeah. All right then. Till next time. Pretty. Yeah. Pretty. I don't know if there's any fish in there. I don't know if I've stepped in the water. Yeah, too lazy for this even. Oh, I'm so bad lately. So bad.